there's another side that you don't know. I can't wait to get you all alone. Once I'm in, there ain't no letting go. Mind games until you lose control.
Welcome to Elevate Your Real Estate Business. I'm super excited to be talking to you today because I have two legends with me in the real estate industry, and you don't want to miss out on this. But today we're going to talk about something that is really neglected a lot in this business, and it's being able to innovate. Now, a lot of people in the real estate industry right now are talking about lack of inventory, but what I look at is lack of innovation and people not really looking at what the opportunities are. The people that will be speaking today: Jason Mitchell, founder of Jason Mitchell Group, who's built an incredible real estate business that is literally doing billions of dollars in volume year after year. He's going to be showing you exactly what levels you have to reach and the levels that you get to be able to scale your business to a level it's never been before. And after that, Tarek Al Musa is going to join us, who's a real estate investor, entrepreneur, and he's going to talk about the benefits of what he can actually offer and work with you on to be able to create passive income in your business. What we are really seeing in this evolution is that a lot of people in this business are working in their business instead of on it. And being able to develop the right strategies with the right people is super important. And that's why we have Jason and Tarek with us today. So as we get started, I want to give you a few things to keep in mind. Number one, you're going to be able to ask questions. So ask questions and get the answers. I always tell people when you have an opportunity to mastermind, you want to be selfish. And what I mean by that is this is your opportunity to change your life forever. You're going to get information from people who've done a lot, achieved a lot, and you have their attention. So with that being said, take this opportunity to be able to really scale your business and grow it. Take this opportunity to learn and implement what you're learning today. At the end of this, we'll have some really, really incredible opportunities for you, but the first opportunity is coming up right now. I'm very excited to introduce to you my good friend and a legend in the real estate industry. And if you haven't heard of him yet, you're really, really going to appreciate this. Jason Mitchell from JMG Group, Jason Mitchell Group. Jason, how you doing today?
I'm good. Am I on?
You're on. It's live. So
I'm sorry. I'm in my hotel room here in Charlotte. So we had a huge event today. We have a couple huge partners. I can't really say a whole lot, but one of them rhymes with pillow. And they asked me to come. He asked me to come here and do a bunch of stuff. So we had a massive event today here in Charlotte. So just a great trip back east, long flight. But forgive me for being in the hotel room here, but it is great to see you, JB.
Yeah, great to see you too, Jay. I got to say, I don't know what you're using as your webcam, but that thing's crystal clear.
Oh, it's natural light. The sun's going down. So it's all natural light here.
Yeah. Well, whatever it is, it doesn't look like you're like just have a laptop in a hotel room. So what we're going to do is I'm going to allow you to take the floor, get started. Glad to have you here. I'm super excited for the for all the agents that are on board taking a look at this, and everyone's in for something real special. Take it away, Jay.
Well, thanks. And I'm super excited because my good buddy Tarek's going to come on in a little bit, and I want everybody to know to pay attention to what he has to say, because the real trick to real estate is not only enhancing your book of business, which is what I'm going to talk about, but when you can find opportunities to benefit your client and also create passive income. You know, we have partnered with Tarek and his group, and we have added thousands of agents to his platform that when you talk about green energy and you talk about solar, everybody wants it. And so to be able to participate in that, in the revenue of it, is an incredible opportunity. So make sure you stick around, listen to Tarek, and make sure you sign up, guys. I'm telling you, like, our agents have been eating this thing up, and it's real. Like, this isn't hyperbole, it's real. So I'm glad he's going to be joining us soon. For myself, just a quick intro. My name is Jason Mitchell. I am the CEO of the Jason Mitchell Group, JMG. We are the #1 real estate team in the country. We're set to do about 10,000, a little bit more than 10,000 transactions this year, and right around $5 billion in business. Now that sounds cool, but what makes us unique is we are a B2B platform, B2B brokerage. What does that mean? We service major organizations and their clients. We drive an incredible amount of referrals. In fact, this year we're slated to hit somewhere between 70 and 80,000 referrals for our army of about 600 agents across the country. So we create an incredible amount of leverage. And that's the word you're going to hear from me today, because my entire company and what I've built is all around leverage. We essentially are just a big team that's now active in 34 states across the United States of America, driving 70-ish thousand referrals a year and closing over 10,000 transactions, of which about 90% of those come from our major partnerships like Rocket Mortgage, Veterans United, New American Funding, Freedom Mortgage. You know, the list goes on and on. Open Door, Zillow, you name it. We have partnerships all across the board. But what I'm going to be talking about today is not just how, you know, obviously being a part of JMG, you can take part of that, of course. And our average agent closes an additional 35 plus transactions a year for an extra couple $100,000 in GCI. We got a great model. That's not why this isn't a recruiting thing. This is about learning how to get from level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is levels and how to create leverage in every single level. I'm going to hit this present button here. I hope I don't screw it up. See, hopefully everybody can see my screen. JB, is that a yes? Can you see my screen? Anybody?
Jay, they can't see it. So what we're going to do is get started, and we're going to get it up for you. So give us a minute to do your thing, and we'll have it show up organically while you're talking.
Let me try this. Is that good?
All right, boom. Now we're in business.
Okay, great. So enough about me. You don't need my bio. All I'll tell you is this, is that I'm a practitioner of this game. I've been in real estate 20 years. I'm no longer selling in the field. When I was in the field, I was the #1 agent in the state of Arizona, 2015, 16, 17, and 18. So I know how to sell, and I know what it takes to start literally from zero, from nothing. I got back into real estate. I got into finance for a couple of years, did well there, sold my company, got back into real estate in 2010. So in only 13 years, we created the #1 real estate team in the country. And it started with me, an individual agent, grinding, hitting the pavement. And then I built the business from there. But there's a lot of aspects when building a business, and there's a lot of milestones that come with achievement. I get asked questions a lot like, hey, what would you do in this scenario? How can I go from 10 million to 50 million? How can I go from 5 million to 25 million? And the answer is you can't. The answer is it takes time. You can't do 5 million one year and think you're going to do 50 million the next year. It doesn't work that way. But what you can do is understand whatever phase of business you're in, there are certain things that you need to be doing and what you need to be looking out for to get to the next level. And I want to talk about that. So we're talking about leverage. There's one word in real estate and in lending, I should tell you, you should be considering every single day as leverage. How can I leverage certain aspects of business to get me to the next level of business? No matter if you are at the beginning of your career and you're trying to find a way to get to a point, leverage yourself from levels 1 and 2. That's phase 1. Phase 1 is if you're in level 1 or 2 of your real estate career, and I want to define that. Level 1 is 0 to 5 million. So newer agents. Level 2 is 5 to 15 million. Those are agents that are starting to close transactions and are getting to a point where they're starting to become top 5% of their market. That's phase 1, level 1 and level 2. Phase 2 is level 2 and 3. It's going from 15 million to 30 million. And that in and of itself, you need leverage, you need human resource, you need tools and systems. And then there's phase 3, which is really becoming an entrepreneur and business owner, because when you hit phase 3, you're in level 4 and level 5, which is 30 plus to 50 plus $1 million a year. Those are the big teams doing 100 million, 200 million a year, $1 billion a year. And when you're in those levels, the leverage is different because you need to find opportunity. You need to leverage people, resources, while you become the rainmaker in business. So we're going to hit on all 3 of these phases. I'm going to do it pretty succinctly because I want to have some time for Q&A with everybody afterwards. But I want to define what leverage is. In business, leverage is the ability to create more efficiencies within your organization by implementing better systems and processes, along with the ability to add more and more opportunity for your business and those that are associated with your business. Again, our story, it's very simple. I started out me as an individual. I added a couple agents. We took those couple agents and fast forward about 12 years. We now have 600 plus agents throughout the country, and we'll do over $5 billion in business this year. And it's all leverage. Levels, let's talk about them. Level 1, 0 to 5. Level 2, 2 to 15. This is volume. 15 to 25, level 3. Level 4, 25 to 50. And level 5 is 50 million plus. So figure out where you stand as I say that. And as I discuss things, as we talk about these things, ask yourself, is that where you're finding yourself? Is that where you're finding yourself getting stuck? Identify what level you're in right now, and we're going to talk about different ways to create leverage within your level. Level 1 and 2, that's phase 1. Leveraging levels 1 and 2. Beginning and building your own business as you build and create internal leverage. Process, admin, ISA. Let's talk about that. In level 1, your leverage is yourself. There's not a lot of capital there. You can't go out and spend a ton of money. You can't go out and think all of a sudden you got this massive book of business where leads and customers and consumers are going to come to you. You have to be your own leverage. What does that mean? When it's just you in the field, you have to find ways creating leverage with your time. Time is everything when you're building your book of business at the beginning and in level 1 and 2. Because as you get started in this business, what you're going to find is there's a lot of people that want to talk to you. There's a lot of title companies that want to take you to lunch. There's a lot of lenders that want to take you to dinner. And then there's people also that are getting started in the business that they don't know what to do with their day. Time is the ultimate leverage when you're just getting started out, meaning spending your time wisely. You need to find ways that you're in front of as many people as humanly possible talking about real estate. Open houses, it starts there. Spending as much time as you can at an open house so the people that come through the door, you can find ways to get them to like you so they can transact with you. Sphere, utilizing your social media for clients that you've had in the past, and most importantly, since you probably don't have a lot of those, friends that you have that have influence. Looking at friends of yours that are directors of companies, friends of yours that are part of leadership in different organizations, leveraging relationships from church to teams that your kids may be on, to charities, leveraging your sphere and opportunities of the organizations that you're part of becomes super critical, because everything at level 1 starts with who you know and how many people you can get in front of. And so for those agents that are waking up at 8, 9 in the morning and they're like, I don't have a busy day because I don't got a lot of showings, I don't have a lot of clients I'm working. I guess I'll go to a lunch with the title company and see if they can help me out. Listen, that stuff doesn't, you are so much better off. Like, this is what I always did. I always said this: you want to meet with me? Fine. You can meet with me for early coffee, or you can meet with me for early happy hour. Because during the day, I'm doing open houses. I literally built my entire book on open houses, all of it. And then we started working B2B with partnerships, which we'll get into, and that's leverage in itself. But you got to find ways to be in front of people. Every day, the only thing you need to be thinking about is, how many people can I talk about real estate to? Little things like, hey, your friend that, is an executive over here, do you mind if I buy your office lunch? What do you mean you want to buy your office? Yeah, I just want to buy your office lunch. You got 50 people there? I'll go spend $500 to buy your entire office lunch, because I'm going to be there and I'm the sponsor of that. And the goal is, especially when you work with somebody of influence, because let's say that a person has some influence in their business or the company that they work at. You want to exploit that. And they're happy to have and give you testimonials about how good of a job you did, because you just helped them buy a home. They're happy with your service. And so when you can exploit those relationships, which they're gladly to have you exploit, you're going to be able to get in front of a lot of people. The more people you can be in front of, especially when it comes to employees and things like that, the more people that are just going to call you because they know that you've done a good job for that person. But then we go out of our way to sponsor events, sponsor things, to where that hey, it's brought to you by you. So the next week, when one of those 50 people are thinking about buying a home, you're top of mind. Leveraging your time to get in front of as many people as humanly possible. That is the key to getting to level 2. When you get to level 2, when you talk about leverage, now we're doing $5 to $15 million a year in business. We don't quite have a lot of capital to put out into the world and into play. But as you reach that peak of 12 to 15 million, you're starting to get pretty busy. And this is where everything, getting to level 3 is where people break. Because when you start to do 13, 14, 15 million a year in business, you're making 300-400 grand a year. You have a good living. You're transacting probably 3 to 4 times a month. But what ends up happening is this: you become afraid to invest in your own business. And it's the biggest mistake you're making right now. You are afraid. You're afraid to bring on an assistant. You're afraid to bring on an admin. You're afraid to bring on a buyer's agent. You're afraid because you think that you need to work every deal. You're afraid because you don't want that payroll. You're afraid because you've never done it before. But let me tell you something. If you're not willing to bet on yourself, what are you willing to bet on? And when you make those investments into human resources, you get to determine what you want them to do. Do you want them to assist, or do you want to hire a buyer's agent to assist you with showings? Do you want to hire an admin so you can be out there in the field more? See, when you start getting really busy, but you're doing it all, you're spending so much time on stupid little things that you can't spend time on anymore. If you're making 200-300 grand a year and you're ordering your for sale signs, I don't know what to tell you, except the fact that you're scared, because someone else should be doing that for you. And the process of it should be identical. If you're hiring an admin, somebody in office, when you get a listing, here's the checklist. I go to a listing appointment. I sign that listing. Bang. I send it to you. What's your next things? You upload it in SkySlope. You order the photos and tours. You get the lockbox ordered. You pre-list the listing on MLS. You provide feedback when we get feedback on the showing. Whatever you want them to do so you can focus on one thing: building your business. But everyone starts to break at 15 million because they're afraid, but yet they're starting to get burnt out. And getting burnt out will only allow you to become more afraid, because you're all of a sudden saying, I can't get off my phone. Oh my gosh, I'm making more money than I ever have, but it's a lot of work. It's hard. You're making it hard. You're making it hard on yourself. You have to be willing to create leverage through human resources when you hit that $15, $20 million mark. And that's when we get into phase 2. And that's level 3. Well, that's like the end of level 2 and into level 3. Because when you hit this phase, now you're being more transactional. Now you need to invest in human resources. But now things change, because when you hit like 25 and 30 million a year in business, now you can't do it all. You can't. You can't show everybody. You can't have escrows. You can't have closings, and you can't prospect, and you can't do the paperwork anymore. There's too much to do. We have, I'll give you an example. We have about 1,300 transactions in escrow right now, today. I don't know anything about them. Nothing. I have no clue. It just works. My job is to bring in the business, and the systems and processes now take care of that all. And what you say is, well, Jay, that's easy when you're doing $5 billion a year, right? Like, you can afford to do whatever you want to do. And the reality is, yeah, but I wasn't there that long ago. Not that long ago, I was a level 2 and 3, but I invested in my business. And it starts with internal support for you, so you can still be out there in the field, because that's where your bread is buttered still to this day, your own production. But what you have to understand is when you start hitting 25, 30 million, guys, you got to be willing to bring on people. And people would say, I'd love to bring on people. The struggle is this, is that you're your own worst enemy, because you're a control freak. You're afraid to give people opportunity to work deals that you have. And if you don't create value with people, they will leave you. And the other side of it is, do you want to work those deals? The greatest position I got in real estate is when I got to start to pick and choose the clients that I want to work with. But in order to do that, I had to have some buyer's agents. So when I had my past clients call me that were $300,000 buyers, or new leads coming in that were 3s and 2s, then I'm like, shit, I don't want to drive 45 minutes for a $200,000 transaction, but I guess I have to because I want to make the money. Well, guess what? When you commit to a client up front, you're stuck. If you set expectations up front that, hey, look, if I'm not available, my buyer's assistant is, and they are phenomenal, Mr. Jones. You're going to have a great experience with them. And guess what? You give that to your buyer's assistant, they take that and they do the whole thing. And yet you take 50, 40% on that deal and you've never done anything. You just take an initial call, set expectations, and you're helping somebody build their book of business, who's your assistant, your buyer's assistant, and your client's better well taken care of because they're happier than hell to work with them at any given time. While you're sitting there trying to worry about all the deals you got and the other people that you want to work with that aren't $200,000 consumers. But you get scared. You don't want to give up the business. And if you're worried about giving up business so you can grow your business with other consumers while people are in the field working the business you brought in, you're never, ever going to get to level 4. Ever. Ever. I don't even produce anymore, and I make more money than I ever have in my entire life. But it's because the model is all about leverage. Every day we're handing out 200 and 250 referrals to people across the country that pay a 50-50 split on everything we send them. That's leverage. But you got to get there, right? And I understand that. You got to get there. But you start small. You start with one buyer's agent. You give them opportunity. All of a sudden, here's what clicks. You're like, well, shit. They closed 4 deals last month. I spent no time with those clients, yet I made 50% of what they closed. That sounds pretty. And in the meantime, I got to spend more time on what I wanted to work on. That sounds pretty compelling to me. So now all I got to do is bring in the business. And that's when it clicked for me. How can I bring in so much business that I can have this army of agents, first in Arizona, in Scottsdale? And then it was, how about Tucson? And then it was, what about California? What about Texas? What about Florida? And now today we operate in 110 MSAs, 34 market centers, 50 plus partnerships, 75,000 referrals a year. We are just the ultimate leverage platform. But to relate that to you guys on this call, I'm no different than you. Zero difference. I was producing. I was doing well. I got to these levels and I invested in my business. I invested in a person to help me. Then I brought on agents. I started giving them business. Then I went and brought in more business. I started working on the business that I wanted to work on. And all of a sudden here I am selling luxury. I am like, I don't know how I fell into this. Well, it's because I got to focus on the demographic I wanted to focus on while these other agents I had were focusing on these other clients. It's the perfect 360 circle when it comes to real estate. You have to create leverage with people when you hit 25 to 30 million, and you cannot be afraid and be a control freak. Otherwise, you're never going to get past that point. You cannot individually, I don't care who you are, no one is going to tell me that I can get to 50 million a year and I'm the only person. Unless you're in super high markets like Beverly Hills, Miami, New York, I guess you can do it there. But there's no way the average agent, New York City, there's no way the average agent can do 50 million on their own without support. Can't do it. You need human resources. You need power. The last phase, when you get to level 4 and 5, when you start doing 40, 50 plus million a year, $100 million a year, you've instituted some admins, some internal support for your business, some great process, some tech to follow along the paths. But now your job, your only job, is now to bring in the business. Well, how do I bring in the business? That's up to you. You're the boss. You're the rainmaker. You need to go create relationships. You need to find ways. You could be buying leads, an internal ISA team calling them, distributing them to your agents, taking a 50-50 split. You can go partner with groups, companies, apartment complexes, attorneys. You can partner with big corporations like we do, or you can partner with teams like we have that have the business for you and your team. Either way, in order to get to 100 million a year in business, you have to find ways to bring in deal flow. That could be your past clients, making sure somebody's constantly staying in front of your past clients, hosting events for your past clients. So they come in the door and you ship them out to your agents, and the ones that you want to work, you can work them. You have to be the deal maker. That's all you need to do. And when it clicks in your head like, shit, what am I doing spending my time with a $300,000 consumer when I should be out there bringing in 30, 40, 50 referral opportunities for my agents so they can go work those deals. And I can start focusing, if I still want to produce, I can start focusing on the deals that I want to do, not the deals that I'm forced to do. So we need human power. We need human power from an admin perspective. We need human power in the field. Another mistake I will tell you that agents make is they try to do this game where my admin also is going to pick up my lock boxes and they're meeting my clients for inspections. That is the worst model you will ever have. You cannot mix office with field. You can mix office with an office. So you're my transaction coordinator and you're, ordering my for sale signs and listing my properties. You're also sending my contract into escrow to the inspector. Be in the office all day, but that person cannot hit the field. You can mix field with field. So I can have a buyer's agent that's also my listing agent. I can create those hybrids. They don't mix. Here's what happens. They come in the office, they're working on paperwork. Hey, I need you to go to the inspection today at noon. So then they leave, they drive 30 minutes to the inspection, they wait there or at closing, they come back, they're exhausted. It doesn't work. And if you're doing that, I'm encouraging you. Find a way out of that. Find a way out of that. You can't mix them. You just can't do it. They will get burnt. There's no process to that. Create the processes internally for the office. Create the process externally in the field. You get a co-list agent every time. They're handling the showings. This is the expectation you set at a listing appointment. My job's to market and negotiate. His or her job is to set the showings and give you feedback. If someone's close, I step in and negotiate. Guess why I did that? I did that my whole career. You know why? I mean, I got to a point where I had over 120 listings at one time. Co-list on everything. You know why? Because I don't want to handle feedback. I don't want to have to call that client to say they're not interested in your home. Why not? I don't know. They didn't like your backyard. What do you mean they didn't like the backyard? We have a beautiful backyard. Yeah, your backyard's great, but they don't like it. Did you show them look, we got all the new pool equipment? Yeah, man, they don't like your house. What about the master? They didn't like the master? Yeah, they liked it, but it wasn't for them. Why? Our master's awesome. Yeah, I know, but they just don't want to buy your house. How about that? I got to have those calls, right? Like we all have to make those calls. And that's an incredible time suck because every time someone's showing your home, if I got to give you feedback, I'm going to be on the phone for 20 or 30 minutes, at least 15. I don't want to spend my time doing that. That's their job. That's my co-list job. And they're happy to do it. because they're going to get a cut on every listing that they're co-list. That's leverage. Go out and get more listings and let them deal with the busy work. That's leverage. So I guess in terms of like some takeaways, one, you need support and you need to invest in yourself. Two, you got to provide opportunities. You got to provide opportunities as you bring on agents. Three, your only job is to go get more. Just go be the rainmaker. Go out and get the business. And while you're getting the business, if you're in level 1 or 2, that business is for you. And as you grow that business, it's for others so you can start to pick and choose. That's the ultimate leverage play. I mentioned that this year we're driving just an incredible amount of business. We got some big partnerships coming in the New York area. Again, this isn't a recruiting thing, but what we say is real. This is no BS. It's no bullshit. We have a ton of opportunity within our organization for those that want to work hard and want to build their book of business. We might be for you. We might not. I don't care. That wasn't the reason of this call. But you can check us out at joinjmg.com. That's the website to learn more about JMG. That's joinjmg.com. But now, JB, I'm going to open it up to any questions that we have out there.
Now. All right, everyone. So this is your cue. Now you have the actual opportunity to ask Jason anything you want, how to scale your business, what you want to do, things that actually are going to be able to help you grow. So Jay, just give it a second to populate. There's a little bit of a lag on the Q&A thread.
I mean, JB, you see me speak multiple times. I keep saying the same damn message time after time after time. And somehow, when I first met you, I was doing $1.5 billion, and 2.5 years later, we're doing $5 billion. Something works. Yeah,
absolutely. And what I like to do is ask some questions for some people that are on there. So Jay, I think a lot of people, what happens is they have a hard time actually understanding what scale can be. I think they look at something like, if I got to work this hard to make 150 grand a year, how the heck could I ever make $500,000 or $1 million doing this? Because I think they look at it from the perspective of, I'm already maxed out and I would have to do double, triple, quadruple to keep going.
Because they're afraid to invest in their business. They're not sitting there back there saying, hey, you know what? I know that I might be making 200 grand a year and I'm afraid, like, I'm working so hard as it is. How am I going to make 5? Well, guess what? Take that 200, invest 30 grand in salary and a portion of your closings for an admin person. So now you don't have to worry about the busy minutia work that you keep doing so you can go bring in more business. It's the only way to do it, but people are afraid to do it. And you can't be afraid. You got to go in at it and say, screw it. I want to get. Now, there's some people that say, look, I'm cool with making 100 grand a year. I like my lifestyle. That's fine. I'm talking about the people that really want to grow their real estate career here. You got to invest in your business.
Absolutely. 100%. And that's really what it is. Don't work in your business, work on your business. That's what you really need to focus on to be able to scale it. Kyle Chang has a question. Is there a fine line between moments of growth and when you need to scale down?
Well, I see a lot of team leaders that got to scale down. And the reason that is because they set improper expectations for the people that were on their team. And a lot of the time that comes from because that team leader didn't deliver the opportunities. When you deliver opportunities to people, they ain't going to leave you. What happens is they join your team and you don't deliver on the promises kept. And that's majority, right? That's the majority of team leaders. They fail because they didn't do what their commitment was. And they're constantly find themselves training. They're in constant attrition mode. I just always got to train new people. It sucks. Well, dude, look internally. Maybe it's you. Maybe your model sucks, you know? Then there's the other side where it's not your fault, where it's like, look, you know what? I don't want a team. It's a pain in the ass. I'm tired of babysitting, adult babysitting. I'm just going back into production. But get an admin, because at least an admin or two, an admin and an ISA, that's the two people. Because the ISA is constantly in charge of driving you more opportunities so you can go close it, and an admin sitting there doing your busy work. You can do $50 million a year with those two people. That you can do. I don't know if you can do 100, but 50 million is a 7-figure income, right? So, but those are the two, basically what I see. Team leaders that are failing themselves, and also people that are like, you know what? I don't want to adult babysit anymore, but I do want to grow personally with my own production. Those are the two support people that you need.
Gotcha. I mean, look, I think one of the most important things is that people need to obviously work on this on a regular basis. And I had the privilege, we developed a course together for what you're doing here. And I had the privilege of being with the team when you were developing it and hearing really the foundation of how this really works. And I remember when we were talking about it, I was like, Jay, I really want everyone to have access to this, because most people don't ever know what it's like to really build a business in this, not work for their real estate business, be able to actually create one and scale it. So what we actually did was we actually put together something called Tilray University. Tilray stands for the industry leaders in real estate. And what better person to be able to put that onto the map than Jason Mitchell from JMG Group. So what we have is we're going to roll it out June 15th, but we want to do something special for the people on the webinar. John, if you can get that up, please.
Well, real quick, let me just say this, guys. I'm not famous, right? Like most of the people on the call, but here's the deal. I don't care about being famous. I don't want to be famous. I'm not, first of all, Tarek's famous. Let Tarek be the face of whatever you want to be the face of, right? He's uber famous. I'm not. I'm a practitioner. But I will tell you this. I sell more real estate than anybody in the country, and by a lot. Sirhant's famous. I do 5x what Sirhant does every year. And I'm going to do even more next year. So I say that as kind of like adding credibility, because a lot of people don't know who I am. And I don't care. Like, I don't care. But I'm really good when it comes to growing, clearly, when it comes to growing a real estate business. We know, I know what I'm doing. We know what we're doing. So I just say that as kind of like humbly that I'm not famous. You probably haven't heard of me, and that's cool. But just know we do an astronomical amount of business.
Guys, it's the real deal. When I was out in Arizona looking at the JMG Group, he had everything well executed. He has his launch control, which everyone's monitoring all this inflow of leads. He's got the teams out. He has an education structure. So it was something that I never saw before operation-wise. And what we wanted to do is we kind of wanted to bring that to you and be able to have the opportunities to learn from this and make it super accessible. So what we have is we were going to roll this out June 15th, but what we wanted to do is give you an opportunity today to get it. For pre-registration, you'll have early access to this before anyone else in the market does. It's a full course platform on exactly how Jay's going to show you how to build and scale how he built and scaled his business to what it is today, understanding the actual concepts of day-to-day. There's no generalities here. It really gets down to the cusp of what it takes to get there. In addition to that, on June 15th, there'll be a special rollout for everyone who purchases. We'll be able to do some Q&A and be walked through the platform. We're actually going to upload bonus content to the platform later on this month, where you'll actually be able to see breakdowns of interactive ways to actually learn, like how do you actually close a listing, objection handling, and so much more. And John, if you can keep that up, please. What we wanted to also show you is you get access to special events exclusive for Tilray University members. Now, we put out 50% off, but what we want to do something actually even better. For anyone who purchases in the next 5 minutes, what we'll be doing is that we'll actually drop it to $365. All you have to do is scan the QR code. If you're already on one device, you can already screenshot and go on it. But that'll allow you instant access today, pre-release, and make it basically only $1 a day. Now, Jay, I understand you want to. I also offer a special opportunity for anyone who wants to take advantage of this today.
Well, look, let me say this. I want to be very clear. A lot of people get to certain levels in their career and they become this coach. I'm telling you this. I am not a coach, and I'm not going to coach you. You can't come one-on-one with me and say, I'll give you 10 grand a month. I don't coach agents. I don't want to. What I do, though, is I create programs with great people like JB, where I take a week out of my time. I create a great program so I can put it to people so they can actually learn how to become a great sales professional, regardless of the level you're in your career. But this is not a pitch for me. I could care less. There's no money in this for me. I don't care. It's one of those things, though. You got to pay for content. You got to pay for time, right? And that's JB's time and what their team has put together, because it's very, very nice. But just know, like, I'm not trying to coach you, and I'm not trying to like sell you on anything. But what JB's team put together here and the stuff that we have that we're going to release, it is very powerful. And so, to get those inside information, all the hours that come with that, I mean, you can pay $9 grand and go see Tom Ferry and be part of his training for 6 months, or you can do it. And I love Tom. He's one of my close buddies, right? Like, I love Tom. Or you can do this from the actual guy that sells a ton of real estate all the time for $500 or whatever the hell it costs. I don't know. But again, this isn't like some sales ploy where you sign up for this and then all of a sudden, you want one-on-one coaching with Jason and you got to spend 20 grand a month. That's not what this is about. This is just about the great program that JB and I put together that is very cheap and affordable because we wanted to make it very cheap and affordable. And I think you're going to get a hell of a lot out of it. I really do.
Absolutely. John, can you get that up one more time? Just want everyone to have an opportunity to capture that. So we're going to leave this up just for the next 10, 15 seconds. So if you didn't get a chance to capture it, you can. But we have something real special now that I'm super excited to introduce. So, John, if you could put us back with Jay and me up here. Okay. So I just want to say before we bring him on, Tarek, we haven't had the opportunity to meet in person, but when I was getting into real estate, I was 19 years old and I was watching on TV and you inspired me so much because when I got into real estate initially, I was a 19-year-old kid, the market crashed. And to be able to look at when you were kind of getting into that real estate investing and flipping and learning it, and then what the evolution has been now has been absolutely incredible. So I want to welcome Tarek first and foremost.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Thank you for taking the valuable time that you have and bringing a big opportunity for everyone here. We're looking at a lot of people on this webinar are producing real estate agents. They want to learn really about what opportunities there are, and I think they're missing a lot of opportunities in their day-to-day business because they might be thinking about just that one close. And I'm really excited.
And by the way, I appreciate everything you said. I've had so many people tell me that my real estate journey inspired them to go chase their dreams. But I don't know, after Jason was speaking, I'm thinking about quitting TV and going back to selling houses. He's got me all fired up over here. But man, Jason, you're literally a genius when it comes to this stuff. Every single thing you said, that is all the information I wish I had 20 years ago. So like when I first got in the business, my first 6 months, I totally struck out, made no money. And then I got a coach. I started calling expired listings and my life changed fast, right? So I was making like $200,000, $300,000 a year, but I was 21 years old. So here were my problems, Jason. My problem was one, I wanted to keep all the money. So I wouldn't spend money on marketing because I thought it was my money. And
Yep.
two, I wouldn't spend money on staff. I said, well, why am I going to pay someone else when I can do it? So it really prevented me from scaling my real estate sales business. It really did.
Yep.
And what happened with me is when I first started flipping houses, I pitched the idea of getting a house flipping TV show before I ever flipped a house, just so you guys know that. I put the cart before the horse. And then I got a contract to do 13 houses in 10 months on global TV. I said, well, I don't know how to flip houses, and where am I going to get all this money? So, of course, I just burned the boats and I went for it. But here's what happened. Because I became a TV personality, what was I doing all day? I was in front of a camera, which means I can't set up marketing campaigns. I can't call sellers. I can't call agents. I can't talk to contractors. So what did it force me to do? It forced me to become a true entrepreneur. And that's when I learned how to delegate. And at 29 years old, I learned how to delegate. And since then, my life has never been the same because I realized it's all about team building. It's all about the people, and it's all about delegating. Another thing is, if you're working with someone in your organization and you have a little gut feeling they're not the right person, you let them go immediately.
Yeah.
Because one bad egg can take down an entire...
Especially when you're small. Especially when you're small.
And when you're small, and that's when you usually get the worst people. So if someone's not a good fit immediately, don't be afraid to move on. You want to find someone that supports you, that motivates you, that are inspired by you. So you want to be working with the right people. So anyways, Jason, I just had to say a few words about what you said because, man, it really hit home for me.
Well, and then again, I look at Tarek and I say, you want to talk about the ultimate leverage. I don't think people understand when you have a massive TV show like he does, they don't see the behind the scenes work that it really takes. And then you're done filming and now you got to go to work. Like, all respect to this man and what he's done, because it is so hard, because you start juggling. Like, now you get opportunity. Now you got these other flips you can do. And it's like, well, shit, my show is my exposure. And then, but I also want to run this great business. How do I put them both together? That's leverage for Tarek. When you talk to Tarek, his assistant setting everything up for him. You know why? Because he doesn't have time to do it anymore. And the other thing too that's really important is what you find out as you grow and you get better. Some people just do things better than you do. And you got to accept that. That's the control factor of, hey, I'm going to stay in my lane and what I do well. Like for me, it's business development, meeting tons of great partnerships to bring the funnel in and manage great relationships. When it comes to tech, when it comes to like, I'm not good at that. Let them do it. Let the team do it. So it's letting go a little bit, but you got to build it. And if you're afraid to invest in your own business, you will. There's always limitations to what you can achieve if you're going to be your only show. There always is.
100%, Jason. An example of that, like I'm a house flipper, right? Most people think, well, if I want to flip houses, I need to learn construction. I need to know the cost per foot for tile. I need to know how much the electric is. How much is it? No, you don't. You need to know a contractor, and you need to ask the contractor, how much is it going to cost me to make this house nice? That's what you need to know. You know, so it's about simplifying things, and really what's really gotten me to where I've gotten is by leveraging other people's skill sets and talents. So here's what happened with me. You know, I was a successful real estate agent. I was in my 20s. Life was good. $1 million house, fancy cars. 2007 and 8 came. I had to sell everything I had, move down to an apartment, and it was the most valuable lesson of my life. And I wouldn't change it for the world because the growth that came out of it. So $1 million house, fancy cars, living the good life. A few months later, I'm driving my dad's truck with no air conditioning. I had to sell my house and move into an apartment. And guess what the lesson was? I am never, ever, ever going to put all my eggs in one basket ever again. So since 2008, I told myself I'm going to be a true entrepreneur, and I'm going to have multiple ways to generate income to support my ventures. And that's what I did. So here's something important to understand. In 2010, I was going to Subway, splitting $5 footlongs and stealing lemonade and water cups. Okay. That was 13 years ago. Today, I flipped almost 1,000 houses. I own over 200 rental properties across the country. I have a private equity real estate company. We're buying commercial real estate like multifamily and self-storage. We're developing multifamily and self-storage. I have a homeschool program where I teach people how to flip houses. So I'm doing all these things because of the lessons I learned during the Great Recession. So today is about opportunity. So I'm here to share an opportunity with you guys. And if you like it, fantastic. If you don't, fantastic. Not a problem at all. And we talk about opportunity. Unfortunately, this opportunity is not going to work for everybody. So for it to really work today, you need to be in California, Arizona, Florida, or Texas. And the opportunity is solar. So here's what's happening right now. So what is the government doing? The government wants to slow down our economy. They want to reduce inflation. So what are they doing? They are intentionally putting up the rates, making it more difficult to buy houses, to slow everything down. So let's talk about green energy. So green energy, the government's trying to drive down the economy. Well, what's the government doing with green energy? The exact opposite. Because of the Inflation Reduction Act that Biden passed last year, I believe it's a $400 billion policy is going towards green energy. And they're expecting the industry to grow by 700% in the next 5 years. So talk about opportunity. So, you know, and here's the thing with solar, it's never really been ran in a professional way. You have 18 and 19-year-old kids out door knocking. They get someone says they want solar, and then they farm it out to 100 companies trying to get the best deal. So I'm a real estate professional. My business partners, Brian Decker and Shelby, are mortgage professionals. And we said, wait a minute. Why are we letting our clients get solar on their house without helping them? Because they're getting the wrong systems, they're getting the wrong advice, they're getting overcharged. So we saw an opportunity to help our clients. So what is the opportunity? Like an example of that in California alone, I mean, literally almost any single household, they need power or they need solar. Why do they need solar? Well, the utility rates keep getting hiked up every single day. So where does the opportunity come in? And we're going to go over a deck with you guys to share that with you really quick. But the opportunity is fantastic. We're currently working with hundreds of real estate agents and loan officers across the country. Some are doing 6 figures a month. So let's bring Shelby on. Shelby, we can start sharing some things. Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Guys, thank you so much. What's up, Tarek?
Not much. How you doing, buddy?
Good. So let me go ahead and bring up the deck here so you can see the opportunity as a real estate agent. Really what the opportunity is for you just to learn a little bit about solar, enough to have a conversation with your past client, and then you can refer them onto our platform, and you can make between $1,500 and $5,000 just simply by referring the name, phone number of your client to check out the opportunity of solar.
Absolutely.
One of our solar closers will call them, they'll go over the benefits of solar, and you'll get paid. Imagine if you had the ability to get paid for a home inspection. Every single deal that you do needs a home inspection. It's the same way in solar. If you're in California, Texas, Arizona, Florida, these are states that there's very high cost utilities and they continue to rise.
Yeah, and Shelby, and Shelby, like one big thing right now is like, we're really trying to help all of our clients. So if you're a real estate agent and you have a database of past clients, well, what's happening with your clients? Everybody's a little bit nervous. Everybody's watching their bank accounts. Everybody's looking at what they're spending. So this is a great way for you to do those prospecting calls, call your client. And it's simple as this, like, hey, Shelby, how you enjoying the house? Blah, blah, blah. The kids love it. So by the way, if there was a way to reduce your monthly housing expenses, Shelby, do you think you might be interested? Well, obviously Shelby's going to say, well, yeah, what is it? Well, it's solar. I can't guarantee that it will be, but we're pretty sure it will be. We'll be able to reduce your expenses. So all we got to do is see a copy of your power bill. From there, you send it to the team and you are done. And we take care of the entire thing and you get a check at the end. And like I said earlier, we have people on our platform calling their past clients having 6-figure months right now. Sorry, go ahead, Shelby.
Yeah, I mean, it's a phenomenal opportunity. We have thousands of agents that are already on the platform. So let me just go ahead and bring up the deck and I can show you guys exactly how you can take advantage of this opportunity. I'll try to make it quick. I know that you guys have already been on here for an hour. Let's see. All right. So you can see in California, over the past 10 years, the energy rates have gone up 138%. Year over year, people's energy bill is going up more than 20% in certain parts of California. So this is something that we say in the solar industry, that your first month of having solar is your worst month, because every single year rates are going to continue to climb. So your savings are going to be more and more.
Hey, Shelby, I just want to mention one thing. I know you're going to get there in a second, but you guys, here is the most amazing thing that's changed with solar. So as a real estate investor and a house flipper, when I would see solar on a house, I would want to run, because the seller would be like, well, you got to pay off the system. I said, I don't want the system. You got to pay off the system. Well, we don't want. So it's like, who's holding the bag at the end? But because of the Inflation Reduction Act, because they're making solar an everyday thing for every household. That's the plan. Now you can get solar on your house, zero money down, nothing out of pocket. Immediately you're having savings. And two, on top of getting solar with zero money down, it is now fully transferable. So all the headaches from the past where there's a solar system on a lease or a purchase, all of those headaches are gone. I can buy a house today, put solar on my house, in a couple of weeks decide to move, and I can transfer that benefit to the new buyer. So sorry, Shelby, I just wanted to hit that point real quick.
Yeah, there's three main benefits with solar. One is you get a 30% federal tax credit for utilizing solar. So if you have a client that's maybe self-employed and they're going to be paying $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 at the end of the year for their taxes, they actually get a 30% federal tax credit off of their tax bill for purchasing solar. So if in most cases, the tax credit is around $10,000. So if they owed $10,000, they would owe zero just for purchasing the solar system. So they get 30% off of the cost of the system. Second main benefit is they actually reduce their monthly expenses on their utilities. So oftentimes in California, we're saving our clients. I mean, personally, my electricity bill is $1,400 per month when I put solar on, my new payment was $395 per month. So monthly savings. And then the third main benefit is savings over time. Because what you're going to do is you're going to put yourself into a 25-year fixed loan, and your payment will never increase. But the solar companies are going to continue to increase their rates year after year. So the main benefit with solar is what's called a power purchase agreement. Let me go over the power purchase agreement. This is what agents love, and what people don't understand is that with a power purchase agreement, they don't even need to buy a solar system. The system is actually free. So I ask my clients all the time, what made you choose your energy company? And they say, well, I didn't have a choice. And most people don't have a choice with their energy company, but now they can choose to go with a solar utility company. And that solar utility is absolutely free for them to put the solar on their house. It costs them nothing out of pocket, and they pay a substantially reduced energy cost. So in this example here, they're saving 40% off their utility bill. They don't need to pay to get the solar put on their roof. They have no maintenance charges. It doesn't show up as a lien against their home. They're just simply agreeing to purchase the power off the solar utility company.
So Shelby, it's pretty much, I'm in California right now. I have my electric bill for my houses. I'm with Edison. Every month I have to send Edison a check, right? So what you're saying, instead of sending Edison a check, we just take the solar panels, we put it on my house, and instead of sending Edison a check, I send a check to the solar utility provider at a lower price.
That's exactly right. And as an agent, you don't need to worry about learning any of these things. Literally, all you're going to do is understand that your clients can save money by adding solar to their home. So you want to pick out specific utility companies, okay? These utility companies are high-cost utility companies. Let me see if I can find the slide. We got a little bit off track. We got excited here.
Yeah, sorry. That'd probably be me.
Let me show you the utility companies that you would want to target.
Yeah, and the great thing is, if you don't have the time or energy to go through the utility companies, just call your past client. Just ask them, what is your utility company? And then we can see if we can save them a ton of money. This is about helping your clients.
That's all it is. So this starts off with a simple call to your database, right? You're calling, you're checking in on them, you're seeing if they can benefit from selling or rebuying, or they want to purchase investment property. And then you're just kind of throwing it out there. You're saying, hey, how's everything going with your utilities? And then they're going to vent, because no one is excited about energy hikes and how much they're paying on the utilities. But these are some of the best utility companies for solar because their prices are absolutely insane. For example, PG&E, that's where I'm at. I'm in Northern California. PG&E has doubled the cost of their utilities in the last 5 years alone. So if you've owned your home for 5 years, you're paying $500 a month. Now you're paying $1,000 per month, and there's no end in sight. So PG&E has had a lot of lawsuits because in Northern California, we have a lot of fires. All of the infrastructure is outdated, and they're passing those costs on to the consumers. So how you can look up if your clients are in a specific utility is you just look up the territory map. So you can Google it. And what you're going to do is you're going to sort out your existing client database. And then you just give them a call and you're going to just talk to them about their utilities. They're going to vent to you and you're going to say, you know what? I have a great solution for you. Let me connect you with our solar energy partners, Soar Energy. You'll fill out the lead form and you're going to send that over to us. At that point, we're going to set up a call with the client. We're going to go over that call with the client. We're going to show them the benefits of adding solar. And for you, you're going to get access to our system where you can literally see every single piece of information. You're going to be able to see when we contacted the clients, what we sold to the clients, how much that they were able to save, all of the communication, Everything is at your fingertips. We literally built this entire system for real estate agents. So you can leverage your current client database, have some simple phone calls. This could work for calling your past clients or your current clients that are already in escrow. If you have a client that's in escrow, you notice that they're in a high cost utility area. You say, hey, I have a great solution for you. I know that you're buying a home in PG&E. And what you're going to do is you're just going to introduce the concept of solar. Hey, I think that you could save a lot of money by adding solar. Let me connect you to our solar team. We'll call, we'll handle it. You're going to get paid anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000 simply for the referral. The reason why we can actually pay that out is not because we're tacking that onto the price. It's because we have zero acquisition costs for those leads. In any other business, we would have to pay for leads. We would have to pay for the door knockers to go out there and door knock all of these homes to try to generate leads. But you as an agent, you can leverage your client database to put your clients in a better position and actually make a win-win for your client, yourself, and the solar company. So that's really what it's all about. We got a little bit off track here, but it's very simple. The phone calls are very simple. This is exactly how you submit a lead. All you're going to do is fill out the customer's name, email address, their address, and their phone number. It's going to tag you to that lead. We're going to go over the conversation. And then at that point, we're going to sell the client, put them in a much better position, get them a 30% federal tax credit, save them money monthly, take them off of a variable payment and put them into a fixed payment, a system that's fully transferable. And for you, we have a lot of different marketing flyers. We have an entire marketing center, a design studio.
And by the way, my image would be on your flyers. My wife is also a partner in Soar Energy. She'll be on the marketing material. So when you're marketing to your past clients or whoever it is you're marketing, you're showing that you've now partnered with, Tarek El Moussa and Heather El Moussa, which definitely brings some credibility. But man, if you just think about the opportunity here, we were talking about opportunity, and this is an easy way to add a vertical to your business. And what was Jason saying earlier? With an extra 30 or 40,000 a year, you can do marketing, you can get an admin. Well, this might be that extra 30 to 50 or 100,000 a year you're looking for from business you're already doing. And that's the beautiful thing. You're not starting from zero. You're at a 9 with your client and you just got to go to a 10, right? And here's another thing. We are the fastest growing solar company in the country. And the reason is because we put the clients first. Because we come from the real estate and mortgage industry, we understand how important it is to help our clients and make sure they're happy with the relationship so they continue to do business with us. So because of that, we exclusively work with Better Earth, which is our solar panel provider. So we are vertically integrated. We know who's putting the panels. We know where they're located. We know the quality. And at the end of the day, the most important person, it's not you, it's not us, it's the client, because we want happy clients.
That's exactly right. These are some of the success stories for some of the agents that have gotten onto the platform. Again, it's a very simple conversation. All it is a conversation that you should already be having. Jason started off his presentation by saying, you have to pick up the phone and do the work on level 1, right? You're going out there, you're doing open houses, and that's exactly what this is. You already have the clients. You're already in escrow with them. They're going to be put into a high cost utility. Right now, the number one problem is people can't afford their payments with these high payments or with these high interest rates and high prices. So this is going to help them bring back the affordability, provide them with some relief on their monthly payment, and you're going to be the solution for them. So all you have to do is, when you're hearing of a customer that's talking about, maybe my payment's too high, maybe you've already reached out to them as a past client and you're just checking in with them, just ask them a simple question. Hey, how's everything going with your monthly utilities? They're going to vent. Just say, hey, I have a great solution. These are guys that I trust, that I vetted out. And we've been helping our clients save a lot of money by adding solar.
Yeah,
And that's it.
Yeah, and like no bullshit. Like if they can't save money, they shouldn't do it. Like, you know what I mean? But people are saving money, and we have the proof on this. Like, it makes sense to get solar. So your clients, they're gonna get solar with or without you. So if they get it with you, they're gonna get a better system, and you're gonna get paid. So we are just really a big believer in this thing and really helping out our clients, and of course earning income along the way.
Exactly. So if you're interested in joining SOAR as a referral partner, basically all you have to do is go to soarenergy.com. You can follow Tarek El Moussa. You can send us a DM. You can follow myself, Shelby Elias. Reach out. It's called soarenergy.com. And this platform is literally built for real estate agents to add the vertical of solar to their business. Very simple. You have full transparency. We understand how to work with your clients because myself and Brian, we've built billion-dollar mortgage companies. And that is exactly why this entire business was born. We were tired of our clients getting sold solar from door knockers that had no financial experience, no experience with housing, and they're putting our clients into these bad loans. We've all dealt with that as real estate and mortgage professionals, where we had a solar system that was not transferable. They had to pay it off at closing. We had to deal with the transfer. And this is something that really, as a real estate agent, you should know about. You're going to sell homes that have solar on them, and you're going to put your clients into properties that already have solar on them. So you need to understand how solar works, and you might as well get paid for putting them into a great position. So we thank you guys so much for joining us today. The website is soarenergy.com.
Yeah. So yeah, that was fun, everybody. Thank you so much for having us. We would love to partner with you guys. And then outside of just, helping clients and making money within our company, SOAR Energy, we're going to be throwing events with all our partners. I might do some trainings on the real estate agent side. So we're going to be really involved with our community. So for all of you that are saying yes today, we're real excited to work with you.
Tarek, Shelby, thank you so much for this. This is incredible. And you guys bring a lot of a real opportunity for the agents out there. And more importantly, you bring an ethical and positive approach for the end user at the end of the day. Because to Shelby's point, the door knockers did put people in a lot of bad loans. They didn't save anything. And then when they want to sell their house, they can't because they have this liability attached to it versus making it an asset. So you guys have done an absolutely incredible job. And I appreciate you taking the time to actually speak to our audience and, more importantly, give them an opportunity while helping give their clients an opportunity. So for everyone watching, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for taking the time with us. Thank you, Shelby. Thank you, Tarek. Thank you, Jason. And more importantly, go out there and do what you need to do to grow a better future for you and your family. You deserve happiness. You deserve wealth. You deserve all the opportunities out there, but you don't get what you deserve. You get what you work for. So take the knowledge from today, go out there and work for it. Guys, thank you again so much. I appreciate you guys being with us tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.